Welcome back again to Soul Records Presents After the Show, which I tell you is the greatest show on earth. Today we have somebody very special, and I mean very special. We have with us John, the Boss Man Hall.
How you doing,
John, it's a pleasure to have you here.
It's my pleasure to be here for you, my brother.
You know, there's a lot of great artists in the world, but you're one of the greatest. You know,
I'm trying to hang on to it.
you know, practically perform with every and anybody. Toured any and everywhere.
Yes, indeed.
You know, and your James Brown impersonation is just like James Brown because you're very famous for that.
Yes, thank you.
When did you start doing the James Brown anyway?
Well, back in 1985, when I got with the recording group Philly Cream, we started, training me, getting me ready for the shows that they had coming up in Singapore and overseas, stuff like that in the casinos. So Miss Valerie Ford, she told me, she said, you know what, I want to see you do a James Brown song. You know what I mean? So I said, well, you know what, I was on tour with James Brown in '84, right before I got with y'all. And they said, okay, let me see what you know. But he had showed me a whole lot when I went on tour with him we was tour for about at least a half a year with James. Me and my dancers, we was called the Flamingo Dancers back then. So he gave us the opportunity. And then when I got with Philly Cream, I thought about all the things that James told me, and showed me when we was on tour with them. So I already knew how to dance. I knew how to do the slop from my father. He showed me how to do that. You know what I mean? And then I said, okay. So I put the routine together, and it just came to be overwhelmed out of all the songs that I've done on stage. The people loved when they heard that music and they see me come out on stage and do it, and it's just been like compliments over and over and over again. And people were saying, you really got that down. You got that James Brown thing down, and I like the way you do it because you're not trying to be James, but you put your own twist to it. He said it is keeping James alive. So that's my goal to actually do it, to keep the Godfather alive.
Well, I've seen you perform, and you definitely do a great job at that. Because, I know you said you have been a lot of places, because you said you went to Singapore. Was that with James Brown? Or?
No, that was with Philly Cream.
With Philly Cream?
Philly Cream, I got a contract, after going into Atlantic City casinos. They had a contract to go to Singapore and Malaysia and Indonesia. And them trips were very enlightening, to the group members and everything. And it was an experience, you know what I mean? And then coming home and doing Club Harlem in Atlantic City, but overseas, they treat you with that royalty. They like that you coming from that era of the 60s, 70s, and 80s. They love that old music over there, that R&B music, as well as today, the hip-hop music. They like that, but they really love the R&B music and the artists. They don't care how old you are, as long as you are performing and doing a song they want you to do.
Philly Cream, because I think I remember one of the drummers or bass player was from Camden.
Right.
And but that was a Philly International Records. Were you guys with them or?
Well, we was a branch off from Kenny Gamble, and we was under WMOT Records.
Oh yeah, I remember
Blue
them.
Magic, Cashmere.
Futures.
We had a lot of groups over there on WMOT, but Kenny and Leon, who I love very dearly. I used to go over there with Dexter Wanzel, Butch Ingram, Bobby Eli. We used to all be in there, and Kenny had a gentleman that worked with him by the name, what's his name? It's a gentleman. He had a clothing store, and he's always dress us up when we go to the
Benny
Schubert
Crash?
Theater. It was Crash Brothers.
Yeah.
Right.
Benny Crash.
Right. And he
Yeah,
dressed us
Crash
up.
Brothers on South
On
Street.
South Street, right. You know what I mean? He'd take us down there, dress us up, give us the Godfather hats and suits, and then put us on the shows. Like if Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes was at the Schubert Theater. Because we had the Schubert back there, we had the Spectrum. You know what I mean? So whatever they put us on, they gave us that opportunity, and it's funny how that we got involved with them because we used to sneak in all their shows.
Really?
Through the back door. And then,
How about that? As a matter of fact, let's take a break for one of our sponsors for 1 second, and we'll be right back.
Yes.
Be right back in 1 minute with John the Boss Man Hall.
Simply Gents, located in Marlton, New Jersey, takes care of all your grooming needs, including haircuts, straight razor shaves, massages, facials, manicures, pedicures, and waxing. To find more information or book an appointment, visit us online at www.simplygents.com. The secret weapon of a well-groomed man, Simply Gents.
When it's time for Jersey Mike's to make a really great sub, this is what we do. It's what we've been doing. It's what we've always done. It's what we'll always do. So what are you doing? Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above.
Today's show has been sponsored by More Than Gifts. Come see our new location in Marlton, New Jersey. Not just gifts, but more.
Today's show was brought to you by Alicia Kelly of White Horse RV Center in Williamstown, New Jersey. Alicia is your RV expert. Contact Alicia at alicia@whitehorserv.com or give her a call at 856-262-1717, extension 203. When you think of RV, think Alicia Kelly.
When it's time for Jersey Mike's to give a sub some sizzle, this is the way. The way it's always been. The way it always should be. The way it always will be. Because that's just the way it's supposed to be. Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above.
Extra Innings is the nation's premier indoor baseball and softball training center, featuring indoor batting cages, 7 multi-use tunnels, and training rooms. Extra Innings can provide professional instruction, private and group lessons, and the best year-round clinics. Along with a nationally recognized pro shop that features the latest and widest selection of equipment and apparel, our experienced staff can provide you with the right instruction and help you find the best equipment for your ability and budget. Extra Innings, where the game never ends.
Today's show has been sponsored by More Than Gifts. Come see our new location in Marlton, New Jersey. Not just gifts, but more. Today's show has been sponsored by Farmers Insurance in Voorhees, New Jersey. To protect your assets and the people you love, call Mike Skoranek, your local Farmers Insurance agent, at 856-336-2553.
We are farmers. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum.
Welcome back again to Soul Records Presents After the Show. In case you wasn't tuned in early like you should have been, I had with me John the Boss Man Hall as a guest today. You know, John, before we took a break, I know we were talking about you were Philly Cream.
Right.
And that was, I naturally mostly out of Philly. That's what we call Philly Cream.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys have been performing with a lot of different groups. I know you said you had went overseas, I think to Singapore and different places. Mm-hmm. And also, but I think about Luther Vandross, when he was at the Apollo, he was, I think it took him about 6 or 7 times to win, yeah.
Well, they say that New York crowd, that's a rough crowd. You know what I mean? I remember my father told me when I was dancing, he said, listen, you ever get up to the Apollo and you get past that audience, you can say you made it, or you're on your way to stardom. So I said, yeah, Dad, when they get time, I'll get there, you know what I mean? But, like I said, after the fact of Philly Cream, I figured though, well, let me put the Boss Man and Company together. So I have like various different groups that I've been working with as far as bands and stuff like that. And, I said to myself, I think it's time. Let me go get to the Apollo. And luckily, I got a call from Valerie Ford about almost 7 o'clock in the morning. And she said, are you up? I said, no, I'm not really up. I'm going to get up. I said, well, what's going on? She said, well, the Apollo Theater just drove in here, 5 o'clock in the morning. The trucks and stuff are downtown. I'm coming to get you. She said, it's time. You got to go and do this. I said, okay. You know what I mean?
And they had came, where they came down to Philadelphia?
Yeah, they came to Philadelphia. They were doing their tour. First
Uh-huh.
time they ever actually went out and did a tour that I heard of. And they stopped in Philadelphia. So I said, well, what do we have to do? So I knew the guy that actually traveled with Michael Jackson named Mickey J. I called Mickey J and I said, well, Mickey, are you closer to downtown than I am? Get down there, get the applications and fill them out, fill my information out as well, and I'll be right there. So we got on the highway. Val came and got me. She took me down there, and I was the only one that made it through.
How about that?
You know, I was like, wow. I mean, Val, she was under the weather a little bit, so she couldn't really sing like she wanted to that day. Mickey was sick, and I was the only one that got through. You know, so I was like, okay, all right, well, this must be a good sign. You know what I mean? And so they didn't give me no inclination that I was going to be appearing on Apollo.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll never forget, I was coming out the Hoggy Shop up on Allegheny Avenue, and I was walking down the street, and I got the phone call. And the lady said, is this John the Boss Man Hall? I said, yes. I said, who I'm speaking with? She said, you're speaking with Miss Catherine from the Apollo. She said, I'm going to be calling you in the next month or so because we want you to get ready to come up here to New York. I said, is this real? She said, yes, it's real. She said, I will be calling you in a couple months. I said, okay. A couple months went by, sitting on the step, and got that phone call. They said, we need you up here. I think it was like in November or October, somewhere on the 7th, early part.
Mm-hmm.
And I went in there, and, you know, I mean, we had about 80-something people
Mm-hmm.
as far as, you know, doing the show that day. So I didn't know how their operation really worked. It. So everybody's in the audience at 1st
Uh-huh.
and you come up and you perform with the band, you know, on the music that you sent in. So, you know, they called me up, and I told the band, I said, well, you know, I'm going to count it off, and y'all going to go right into the music. So the lady said, well, how much time do you need? I said, I don't need that much time. You know what I mean? So I started doing my routine real quick, and then I just stopped. I did about 3.5 seconds. You know what I mean? I stopped. I said, that's good enough for me. So when I turned back around to the audience, the whole audience was standing up clapping.
Yeah.
So Miss Catherine came out and looked. She said, oh, my God. So she told me James Brown never got a win here when he first came here.
Really?
She said he was never accepted at the Apollo like that.
How about that's amazing. You know what? Here's what we're gonna do. For 1 second, I want to
Okay.
take a peek at that. You know,
Okay.
at the Apollo. Yeah, check this out for a second.
Keep on, lose your palm, still see. I can't believe that. Got that feeling, so you born. Right on, right on. Get up, get on the seat. See, go take the breath, go take the breath. Hit me.
That's amazing, John. You know, that's amazing. You know,
Many years, many
you know,
years.
that's amazing. That's all I got to say.
Okay.
You know, you're an amazing guy anyway. Because I think, didn't you do something with Michael Jackson? Or-
Yeah. I mean, that was a blessing that came in disguise. I didn't really take the people serious when they first approached me, because we did the thing at the Uptown Theater with James Brown. Me and the dancers came off stage, and we were standing backstage. You know, we were like hugging each other, saying we did a good job. And this woman approached us. Her name was Cherie Garrett, and she said, "I would like for you to, you know, do an album for me." And I said, yeah, okay, all right. You know, I said, Miss, I ain't trying to be smart. I said, but we hear all this all the time. You know, she said, no, I work for Broadway Eddie. I said, you do? She said, yes. She said, over in Camden. I said, well, we performed in Camden a whole lot. She said, I know. She said, I seen y'all, and I think y'all perfect for this album. You know, so I said, okay, well, she said, I'll give you more details when you come over to Camden tomorrow morning. Can you make it? I said, sure, I'll be there. So I went on over there, got on the speed line, went over there, walked in the store, you know, and I seen Eddie. came out from behind the counter, you know, it was, okay, I remember you. I said, okay, all right, let me see what's going on here. So they took me in the back. They already had the soundtrack. They should let me listen to the music. They had someone doing it in the way that they wanted it to go, and said, we need you and the dancers to do it in your way. So I said, okay, fine. You know, I said, well, you know, we go under the name of the Flamingo Dancers. And he said, well, no, not right now. We're going to put it under the Broadway Thrillers. So I said, the Broadway Thrillers? I said, you're taking away from the concept of who we are. He said, no, not right now, because we got somebody behind us that you're going to meet. So I said, okay. They said, we need your Sigma Sound tomorrow. So okay, so I get the little boys together, we go down Sigma Sound. So this old guy comes in, you know, he had a cane and everything. He come in, he's sitting down, he's watching us behind the thing, going through the whole routine. At that time, we got there early. By the time this gentleman came in, it had to be about 6 o'clock in the evening. So we sitting there, we went through the routine, we all in there spinning the hats and dancing and everything. And Broadway Eddie, they smiling and laughing, you know. So then they shut the curtain, you know, and they all came into the room where the sound and everything was at. So they said, well, what we want y'all to know is that, you know, you have been approved as, you know, the ones that actually want to do this record. I said, okay, you know. And then the guy said, I want to introduce myself to you. He put the cane down and took the mask off, and it was Michael Jackson.
Ain't that something?
I was like, I was standing there like, what? First I thought it was fake. I said, nah, this gotta be fake. This ain't no Michael Jackson. And he was like, yeah, it's me, you know, how you doing? And I was like, wow, you know, this is really him. You know, he said, listen, I'm going to let y'all go in and do this. I have a label, it's called Thriller Records, and, you know, they want to put y'all on that. So I was like, I said, okay, you know. And I looked over at the two little guys, right, and they were just stunned, just standing there, like, you know, just staring at him, like, you know, like, is this really him? You know what I mean?
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So he came in like an old
old
man with a
man.
cane,
Yeah.
so he took the mask off.
Right. And
So
it
it was like,
him.
that's amazing. Because I remember he was, when he left Motown, he was with Gamble and Huff.
Yeah,
You know, and
yeah.
I think it was Columbia Epic Records.
Yeah, matter of fact, the Destiny album, that was
Yeah.
the album Going Places that Kenny Gamble and actually wrote the songs for them, you know, and I got a chance to see them only one time when they came down, because they used to rush them in and rush them out, but we was outside watching when they came off the bus, you know what I mean, and this was before Michael actually took the form of the different look. He had the afro back then, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm familiar with Sigma Sound. They're doing a story on there now. I think Alan Slusky and
Okay.
you know, yeah, they're doing something on that right now.
Okay.
They did Stand in the Shadows of Motown,
Mm.
and now they're doing something about Sigma Sound.
Yeah, I mean, I look at Motown because, like I said, going back to Philly Cream, we had the pleasure to meet one of the writers, and he was a music arranger, Mr. Tony Carmelo, and he's still around today, and me and him are very good friends, and he wrote the song Love Can't Turn Around for Philly Cream, you know, but he started off at Motown, you know, working with different artists like Gladys Knight, you know what I mean, Diana Ross and all them, and matter of fact, he was the one who actually did the music arrangements for Midnight Train to Georgia.
Really?
For Gladys Knight.
Oh,
Tony
okay.
Carmelo did that.
You know, that was on Soul Records. You know, let everybody
Right.
know that. It was on
Okay.
Soul
Okay.
Records.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, Midnight
Yeah.
Train to Georgia.
Midnight Train to Georgia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, matter of fact, your buddy who you do work with, Rick
Right.
Coley.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Very good
he
guy.
had Gladys Knight
He
recently,
did recently, right.
at the Washington Township High
Right,
School, I believe.
Right.
Yeah, I went there, and it was a outstanding show.
Yes, he does
Yeah.
some very remarkable things. And like I said, I've been getting blessed. You know, God has really been looking over some of the things I've been doing. And meeting Mr. Rick Coley was a great pleasure. You know what I mean? And he seen the vision that I had. And I seen the same thing in him. And he said, well, you know what? You're just like me. You know, you're a go-getter. You know what I mean? And you don't give up. And you continue and you continue. And he said, I got a platform for you that would be perfect for you to be on. He said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go ahead and put you on the Stephanie Mills show. So I said, okay. So before we actually did the show, he had lined me up at the Marion over there in Cinnamon, New Jersey, and we did a thing there for the witnesses. And you know, Rick has a very good following, a very strong team. Those that support him, you know, him and his wife. You know, his wife can sing, very sing. I mean, you know, she can sing Songbird. She can sing real good. And you know, right now we got some things in place. We're getting ready to do the Manhattans. You know, we're looking at Fantasia. You know, we're also looking at, you know, the Temptations. You know, we're talking to Kool and the Gang. You know, so we got a lot of things that is coming people's way right now. And you know, he had that label Now That's Good Entertainment.
Yeah.
So I mean, he's wow, he's just a person, man. That's, you know, he's been blessed for all the years that he has been doing this, and he's been doing it by himself.
Yeah,
you
he
know?
does an amazing job. I'll call him. I'll speak with him about Exclusive Soul.
Okay.
Possibly getting him on one of his shows. And I spoke
Oh, yes,
about
yes.
Druzak. Matter of fact, I gave one of those Soul Records first. I have to get one
Okay.
from you too.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a dynamic guy. You know, I was thinking too on your performances in different places that you've been. I think you're down Atlantic City at the moment. For the
Oh
holiday.
yeah, I'll be there at the Soldiers' Home. We're starting in Philadelphia under Aces Museum up in Germantown and Pike Street, which is really like Germantown and Shelton, and you come right down the street, and Aces Museum is there. And this is a black museum for all the soldiers that was in the war in 1940, you know, and up and back. So they have a museum there called Parker's Hall, where they used to have their banquets and everything at, you know, back in 1940s. I mean, so every year, a lady by the name of Miss Dr. Hankins, she runs the museum there, and right now she's trying to get funds for people can put in to actually help, you know, keep the historical place alive. So we put up a GoFundMe for them and everything. But this Sunday, well, we're going to start Saturday in Philadelphia with the veterans, Memorial Day for the veterans. We're giving out medals to those that are veterans that want to come down and, you know, join what we're doing. We have live entertainment for them. You know, we've got a few bands coming in, some Philadelphia great artists stopping through, some jazz artists as well as R&B, you know. And then Sunday, we're going to they all getting on the bus, and they're taking it down to Atlantic City, and we're going to do the Soldiers' Home. And we got all the veterans from Atlantic City that's going to participate and coming over with us, as well as the mayor. The mayor's going to come in, and we're giving everybody rewards, and we're trying to keep, you know, this historical place alive in Philadelphia, you know, because it's been lost. It's been lost for many years.
That's fantastic. And now you're performing with the Manhattans. I think, you know, Rick Cody is doing the show with them.
Yeah. You know, it's funny how that came about. A very good friend of mine, you know, by the name of Kenny Jackson. You know, I've been knowing Kenny for over 7 to 8 years, you know, maybe longer. And, you know, he came to me and he said, well, you know, I'm singing with the Manhattans now. I'm their new lead singer. I said, what? He said, but Kenny can sing. You know what I mean? You know, I said, wow, okay. I said, well, okay, all right, Kenny, you know what I mean? So then when I was in the executive meeting with Rick Coley and them, we was all sitting at the table, and Rick turned to me and he said, well, what do you think we should bring next? So I'm like, you know, I'm getting used to the position that he got me, because he got me as an assistant CEO with him. You know what I mean? So he turned to me and I said, well, what about the Manhattans? He said, sure, you got their phone number? I said, yeah, I got it in my phone. He said, okay, give him a call and let's see what we can work out. And, you know, I didn't know that he already knew, you know, the manager. You know what I mean? And, you know, and the manager knew me from actually talking to me a lot. You know, when he found out me and Rick Coley was working together, he said, sure, no problem, we can do this. You know, give me a date. We already had the date and everything, and we put it together, and it's for August the 13th.
Oh, that's great. You know, when I called him mentioning Exclusive Soul, because, you know, they do the Nathan's hot dog contest in front of 25,000 people in New York, usually every year, which is a great turnout. You know, I had them on the show also. You know, plus they're on the
Okay.
label. You know, Soul
Right.
Records.
Right.
And we got a new release coming out called "I Fell in Love," and
Okay.
you know, a nice
Okay.
video to go with it.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
and speaking of performances, you know, I've heard you're going to be at the famous Cotton Club up in
Oh
Harlem.
yeah. Yeah, Miss Ray Ray, R&R Records. She's bringing me in. We've been talking for the past 5 years, and she's a very beautiful woman. And you know, she said, I know I've been telling you I'm gonna get you up here, She said, but I'm finally gonna do it, and we're gonna bring you in on June the 17th. You know, you're gonna come
Okay.
into the Cotton Club. So I was talking to my manager. I said, listen, you know, we talking about the famous Cotton Club now. I said, I should go in there like Cab Calloway or somebody with that big brown hat, big pants, you know what I mean, the zoot suit type look, you know what I mean? She said, wow, you know, you want to do that? I said, why not? You know what I mean? I said, we put the black and white shoes on with the spats. I said, we take them back and in memory. They be like, wow, you know, and then, you know, we go in there and do my thing. You know what I mean? I'm looking forward to that one because that's another step in the right direction. You say the Apollo, then I turned around and I done the America's Got Talent. Now Cotton Club.
That's neat. It's on 125th Street too, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fantastic. That's
Yeah.
June the 17th.
June the 17th.
You know, now the grapevine also told me you'll be doing something with like a James Brown tribute out in California.
Oh yeah,
someplace.
yeah. That's what's this lady name? Miss Starr. She had me on a concert with El DeBarge up at Symphony Hall in Newark, New Jersey. You know, very lovely woman. You know, very down to earth, positive thinking. And she told me, she called me about a week ago and said, you know, I'm getting ready to do something in California. They hold over 4,000 people. I said, yeah? She said, yeah. She said, and right now, tickets are getting ready to be sold real fast. And I'm trying to figure, you know, it's a doo-wop show. So I said, okay, what the date? She said, I'm going to get all that to you in a minute, you know, but I'm trying to figure to fit you in there. I said, well, James Brown was around the doo-wop area. I said, they love James. I said, we do a tribute to James Brown. She said, there you go. That's what we're going to do. We're going to do a tribute to James Brown. I'm going to go ahead and talk to them and get you on that show. And I said, okay, Mr. Starr, do your magic. Go ahead, work your magic. You know, do what you got to do, and I'm here for you. You know, and ever since we done that El DeBarge show, and she saw me live, she was like, wow. She said, seeing the video and then seeing you live and talking to you, she was like, this is amazing. She said, well, you know, how old are you? You know, I said, you really want to know? I said, you take a guess. She was like, what, you in your 30s? I said, nah. She said, nah, don't tell me you're older. I said, yes, I'm well older. You know, I said, well, Miss Starr, I'm 55 years old. She said, nah, you can't be. I said, yeah, I'm 55. I said, I've been doing it since I was 17. You know, because she was like, you hitting splits and spinning like that. I said, yes. I said, but you got to remember, you know, I was under the teachings of the man himself, the Godfather. I said, he showed me a lot of things that I'm doing today and he always told me, never give up.
You know, it's amazing too because, you know, your talent, you know, and I like the way you can throw that head up, put it on your head.
Yeah.
I noticed that, if I ain't mistaken, I think Bruce Springsteen,
Yes.
you know, calls himself the boss, wanted to know who the
Right.
boss man was.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
tell me about that.
Well, got a phone call from a brother by the name of Anthony Lewis, connected me to him. They actually knew him in Jersey. And he called and was like, you know, I'm hearing a lot about the boss man. So I was like, who I'm talking to? He said, oh, this is Bruce Springsteen. I said, oh, the boss. He said, yes. He said, but I've been following you and I'm looking at what you've been doing and, you know, I wish you all the great success, you know what I mean, and continue what you're doing because he's a real great fan of James Brown.
Yeah.
Yeah, real big fan. Him and Rick Jagger and all, they really like James Brown, you know, and they said, you know, that was some of their influence.
How about that?
You know?
You know, has he ever talked about you guys doing any collaborations?
Well, you know, he was like saying that, you know, we would get together, we'd talk, and we'd see if we could try to work something out, you know what I mean, as far as getting you in on a couple shows, you know, and I'm looking at him, he talking about his show, you talking about stadiums.
Yeah,
You know what I
absolutely.
mean? You know, so I'm like, wait, man, that would be a great blessing, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? But I'm looking forward to see what would happen.
Let me take a break for
Okay.
1 minute, and then we're going to come right back for a second before we close up.
Simply Gents, located in Marlton, New Jersey, takes care of all your grooming needs, including haircuts, straight razor shaves, massages, facial, manicures, pedicures, and waxing. To find more information or book an appointment, visit us online at www.simplygents.com. The secret weapon of a well-groomed man, Simply Gents.
When it's time for Jersey Mike's to make a really great sub, this is what we do. It's what we've been doing. It's what we've always done. It's what we'll always do. So what are you doing? Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above.
Today's show has been sponsored by More Than Gifts. Come see our new location in Marlton, New Jersey. Not just gifts, but more.
Today's show was brought to you by Alicia Kelly of White Horse RV Center in Williamstown, New Jersey. Alicia is your RV expert. Contact Alicia at alicia@whitehorserv.com or give her a call at 856-262-1717, extension 203. When you think of RV, think Alicia Kelly.
When it's time for Jersey Mike's to give a sub some sizzle, this is the way. The way it's always been. The way it always should be. The way it always will be. Because that's just the way it's supposed to be. Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above.
Extra Innings is the nation's premier indoor baseball and softball training center, featuring indoor batting cages, 7 multi-use tunnels, and training rooms. Extra Innings can provide professional instruction, private and group lessons, and the best year-round clinics. Along with a nationally recognized pro shop that features the latest and widest selection of equipment and apparel, our experienced staff can provide you with the right instruction and help you find the best equipment for your ability and budget. Extra Innings, where the game never ends.
Today's show has been sponsored by More Than Gifts. Come see our new location in Marlton, New Jersey. Not just gifts, but more. Today's show has been sponsored by Farmers Insurance in Voorhees, New Jersey. To protect your assets and the people you love, call Mike Skoranek, your local Farmers Insurance agent, at 856-336-2553.
We are farmers. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum.
Welcome back to Soul Records Presents After the Show. As I always tell you, it's the greatest show on earth, and you never want to miss who I got on this show. Today I've had John the Boss Man Hall on here, and you better not miss it the next time you miss it this time. You know, John, before we close up, I know that you're going to be in Atlantic City this weekend, I believe, through the holiday, and you're going to be at the Cotton Club in Harlem, and then you and Rick Coley, you guys are going to do a thing with the Manhattans. And when is that anyway? I forgot.
The Manhattan's going to be August the 13th in Philadelphia at a club called Treasures.
Okay. All right. Now, you're not doing any recordings on any label, are you? At the moment,
that's what I'm talking to you about.
That's what I'm pitching it as. What better person to talk to other than you when it comes to Soul Records, the legendary Soul Records.
That's right.
Gladys Knight, who you guys had at one of your shows, Junior Walker, Jimmy Ruffin. Yeah, I think it should happen.
That's right.
Because the Boss Man or Soul Records, I go for that.
I know Rick would love that.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, we're gonna make that happen. And we're going to tell our audience to soon look out not only for Soul Records Presents After the Show, but look for John the Hall Boss Man soon to be on Soul Records.
Yes, indeed.
And of course, everyone make sure you read the Hollywood Times. There's exclusive Soul. It's a page in the Hollywood Times with all your stories about Soul Records. So I want everyone to make sure they tune in again to Soul Records Presents After the Show.